Wow. Just recorded a whole video. Hold on, let me check. Okay. The green light is on. That means my mic is on. Just recorded a whole video. Rewatched it on my phone. I'm like, wow, why does the audio sound so bad? Oh, my mic was off. So, take two. I don't even want to do this. I don't appear on camera, but dare I say, emergency broadcast, because I gotta be honest, guys, I think I'm breaking up with the Miami Heat. I think I'm dumping them because I feel like all of us are in some sort of psychological warfare, abusive relationship with this team. Because what is going on? What's going on? We know the whole season has been strange, but most recently, the Hawks loss on Champions Night, which I knew was going to be a disaster, because if you remember, anytime we have some special festivities with the Heat, it always goes bad. And remember, what is it, a season or two ago, Udonis Haslam's jersey retirement night? What happened? What happened on that night against the Hawks? Special night, we're playing the Hawks. What happens? DeJounte Murray buzzer beater. Remember that? And then, oh great, another special night. Oh, we're playing the Hawks. Get punked by the Hawks. So there was that. Then, the only team in the Eastern Conference that does nothing at the trade deadline. Nothing. It reminds me of Godfather 2. That scene where Michael is having the meeting with the senator.
My offer is this. Nothing.
And then it also reminded me of that scene from SpongeBob with the magic conch. SpongeBob and Patrick, they pull the string on the magic conch and they're asking it what it should do.
Oh, magic conch shell, what do we need to do to get out of the kelp forest?
Nothing.
The shell has spoken!
That's kind of like what the Miami Heat front office is like. Except in that SpongeBob episode, if I remember correctly, there was a plane that flies over and it drops a whole bunch of food for SpongeBob and Patrick. But there's no plane flying over. There's no one coming to save us. Jimmy Butler ain't coming to save us. Maybe. I just saw NBA Central today posted something about the Miami Heat are going to pursue Giannis in the offseason. I'm done drinking the Kool-Aid. Because this time around, you think I would have learned with the Damian Lillard thing and not getting Durant or not getting Harden and not getting Donovan Mitchell and not getting Kyrie and whoever else, not getting Dame. You think I would have learned. And I didn't get my hopes up, but I'm reading the tea leaves. I'm looking at what Shams, whatever his name is, and I'm listening to the podcasts. Ethan Skolnick on 5 Reasons Sports, and everybody seemed very confident about Giannis, and dare I say, I sipped. I went like this with the Kool-Aid. That's it. And what happens? Nothing. Then we blow the 22-point lead against the Celtics. Then, oh cool, we beat the Wizards. Who cares? And then, oh my God, that Jazz loss. That Jazz loss did something to me, man. That Jazz loss did something to me, but we'll get into all that. This video is going to be a train wreck, and I appear on camera when it's an emergency. This is an emergency, but I want to show you guys a picture. It's a very gross picture. I'm going to show it here. It's like the Nickelback song. Look at this photograph. And I know it's very gross. It's very disgusting. And you're probably saying, why are you making me look at this, the bottom of a shoe with gum and dog poop? Allow me to add some context. Last Tuesday, day of the Hawks game, my next door neighbor, poor guy, the poor guy had a stroke. He has a sciatica. He has problem with his lumbar, back problems. He can't sleep. He's in all kinds of pain. So his girlfriend asked me if I could bring him up the street to acupuncture. I'm like, sure. And have you ever heard the expression, no good deed goes unpunished? Well, boy, did that happen to me. So I'd bring him up to acupuncture, drop him off. Quick story. This is all going to tie in. I promise. Drop him off at acupuncture. And I say to myself, I got like 40 minutes to kill. Should I go home and get some work done? Should I go to the park and read a book? Should I go play basketball? I choose to play basketball when I shouldn't have played basketball because I played on Friday, played on Sunday, worked out really hard Monday, should have taken it easy Tuesday. I didn't listen to that advice. So I'm playing basketball. What happens? I wrench my back. So bad. Ironically, after dropping someone off at acupuncture. all in here. All in here. This is the middle left side of my back. It's called I think it's an intercostal muscle strain. And man, does it hurt. Then I'm walking back to my car. I get in my car. I'm driving. And I'm like, man, why does it smell like shit in my car? I go look at my shoe. There you have it. Somehow I stepped in dog poop and gum at the same time. Didn't even know that was possible. I had never even heard of such a thing. Usually it's one or the other. But both, after straightening my back, then I go and pick up Robert, bring him home. He gets into a fight with his girlfriend. I'm not going to go into it. Now I have to be the intermediary to put out this whole fight. So I go from, this is all going to tie in. Bear with me. So I go from going about my day. I get asked to do a favor. I'm trying to be a nice guy. Drop him off at acupuncture. I end up with a strained back, dog poop on my shoe, gum on my shoe, and I'm in the middle of a fight having to put out this fire between this couple. And I'm like, God, this is why that expression, no good deed goes unpunished, exists. And I said to myself, at least the trade deadline is Thursday, and we're probably going to get Giannis. Because I sipped the Ethan Skolnick on 5 Reasons Sports Kool-Aid. And we did nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing.
The only other two teams that did nothing were the Spurs and the Rockets because they're good and have a good roster, whereas we did nothing. So I thought to myself, fine. Well, maybe this means we're going to lean into the young guys, right? We're going to lean into Colel and Kasparas, Yakachonis, right? Celtics games comes around. We saw what happened. Kasparas didn't play. I don't know why. DNP, coach's decision. I don't know why. Colel played, 9-10 minutes. And yet you have Simone Fontecchio and Drew Smith out here. Who, and I like Simone. I like Drew. But they're out here playing like 20-ish minutes, and we blow a 22-point lead. Where are we go? What are we doing? Where are we going? What is the direction of this team? It's crazy. And then there's a little bit of a light in the abyss, a little bit of a light shining through. I know it's the Wizards. They stink. AD and Trae Young aren't playing yet. But at least Colel and Kasparas were awesome, right? Cool. And then this Jazz game comes. And at least Kasparas played great. Poor Colel Ware fouls out in 14 minutes. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Which is fine. Like, that's fine. I'm not even mad at him. All the more he should play. If he fouls out in 14 minutes, fine. It's a learning experience. If he plays bad, fine. It's a learning experience. If he plays good, awesome. Look at the potential. Even the Wizards. I was watching the Wizards broadcast. Even they were. You know what the Wizards broadcast called Colel? They called him Baby Wemby. We have the other commentators calling our player Baby Wemby, and then the kid barely plays. And I get why he's frustrating for Spo, but where are we going? Because when you play the starters and play the vets, they blow a 22-point lead against the Tatumless Celtics. So, like, where are we going? And let me know in the comments, because I gotta be honest, guys, this whole trade stuff and CBA and aprons and salary caps and luxury tax and bird rights and poison pills and blah blah blah, not my thing. So you guys, if anyone does watch this video, if you made it this far, let me know in the comments, like, if you're gonna go after a guy like Giannis, like NBA Central just today said that the Heat said, or whatever the sources they used, that the Heat are going to pursue Giannis in the offseason. How is that possible? If we couldn't do it at this trade deadline, how are we going to do it in the offseason? Because it doesn't seem like Giannis even wants to go anywhere. It seemed, with all these posts that he's done on social media since the trade deadline, and what did he post? Like, real legends attract talent and all kinds of stuff like that. How are you going to get this guy? Because from what I've been told on all these podcasts and stuff, like, we don't have much in the way of draft capital and draft assets, and we traded our first round pick for Terry Rozier. I don't know what's going on with that whole situation. So we don't have much in the way of that. And apparently Bam Adebayo is untouchable. So I don't, Tyler, he has the reputation now. Yeah, he was an all-star last year, but this year he can't stay healthy. I don't know how you go about acquiring someone like that while retaining Bam. Because I highly recommend. I'll put a link in the comment section below. The Miami Heat beat guys. They did a really good podcast after the Celtics loss, and that guy Alf, he has a couple really good rants about the Miami Heat front office, and not so much about Pat Riley, more so about Mickey Aronson and Nick Aronson, and about how there's too many cooks in the kitchen as far as the decisions that are being made for the Miami Heat, and that there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and because of that, you have the business side and the basketball side, and then like nothing gets done. So I highly recommend watching that. But they break down these commandments that Barry Jackson posted that he sort of, it seems like, based on his communications with the Miami Heat front office and the Miami Heat organization, that these are certain like 10 commandments, 10 tenets, philosophies that the Miami Heat adhere to. And the Miami Heat Beat podcast does a very good job of analyzing each of these philosophies, these commandments, and discussing how that these unfortunately seem to be very antiquated ways of thinking in today's NBA, with how free agency works, with how draft assets work, and the CBA and all this stuff, that they have a kind of very irrelevant, antiquated approach to building a good team. And one of the tenets of these commandments was that Bam Adebayo is essentially untouchable. Now let me know, like, what do you guys think about that? Do you think Bam should be untouchable? Can you even acquire someone like Giannis while retaining Bam? Is that possible based on the rest of our assets and our draft pick situation? I don't know, but whatever the case may be, I speak for most Heat fans as far as saying this organization needs to pick a direction. Whether if it's this season and it's gutting the roster, and maybe you can retain Bam and go after Giannis and build around those two guys, or are you going to trade the vets and go and focus on the young guys and bring Kasparis and Pelle Larsson and Khalil Ware, and maybe trading the older guys and building a good young team, and maybe 5 years from now you can go after an Anthony Edwards and you position yourself to do something like that. They keep treating this team and treating this roster like they're going to accomplish something this season. And I like these guys. I love Norm. I'm happy for Norm. Happy he's in the All-Star game and all that stuff. But, when you're blowing 22-point leads and then you follow it up by losing in the way we lost to the Jazz, and I know Norman Tyler didn't play, but like there's no excuse. This roster just seems to be very flawed. And even by some miracle, if Tyler were to get healthy, and if Tyler and Norm did figure out how to play with each other, and if Jovic remembered how to play basketball, that poor kid has completely lost all of his confidence. It's unbelievable. And if Khalil and Bam learned how to do the double big thing, if all of that stuff happened, and more, still, like, where are you going? You're still going to be stuck in the play-in probably. Then you got to get out of the play-in. Then you're going to have to play like the Pistons or the Celtics or the Cavs or the Knicks. And it's like, are you going to beat? You're going to get probably dog walked in the first round again. Maybe you'll take it to 6 games. But it's like the 3rd year in a row. 2023, that was a miracle. That was a miracle because you had Superman Jimmy Butler, who was still able to, do his magic. Then we saw what happened in 2024. We saw what happened in 2025. And the same thing is probably going to happen this season. So at a certain point, it's like, all right, we got to make a move here. We got to make a move. Because I talked about this in the video. I posted 2 videos before the season started. One was called Let's Be Optimistic About the Miami Heat, and I had another one called Let's Be Pessimistic About the Miami Heat. And sadly, I got to go back and watch it, but from what I remember, the Let's Be Pessimistic About the Miami Heat video seems to be pretty relevant. And I talked about how that, like, what is the identity of this team? Because you're kind of in the remnants of the Jimmy Butler build still. And what I mean by that is the 2 best players on your team, as far as who gets paid the most, I'm pretty sure are Tyler and Bam. Tyler and Bam are remnants of the Jimmy Butler era. So you used to have your MVP caliber player. You know, Jimmy, when it came to playoff time, played like an MVP caliber player. He's gone. And then you're left with your 2 best players. You know, Bam isn't an all-star this year. Tyler can't stay healthy. And here we are. And it's just like, you know, it's just like, who is this team? And even in that video, I used that reference from Alice in Wonderland with the caterpillar, when the caterpillar yells at Alice and he goes, "Who are you?" And that's how I look at this team. Who are you? Or it's like that scene where she's around all the flowers and the flowers are trying to figure out what she is, and because she doesn't smell nice, they accuse her of being a weed.
To put it bluntly, a weed.
And they kick her out, like the Nuggets. They smell nice. That's a beautiful, beautiful flower of a basketball team. And the Heat are like this weed of a basketball team. And not the fun kind of weed, like the kind of weed that you have to go yank out of your driveway or out of your garden. Like that kind of weed, because they're just the leftover scraps from the Jimmy Butler build that didn't work. That's it. And they need fertilizer to get rid of them and blow it up and nuke it and start anew. Told you I was going to be cynical. Who are you? Who is this team? Because every good team has your MVP caliber player and your all-star caliber player. Jokic and Murray, Tatum and Brown, Steph and Clay, Michael and Scotty, Shea and Jalen Williams, Cade and Duran, or Duncan Robinson. I'm just ranting here. I'm just rambling. But that Jazz loss did something to me, man. I think it did something to Spo. Did you guys see that clip of Spo? Spo, man, he looks like his head's going to explode. Do you see all the veins in his neck? Like, it looks like his head's going to actually explode. I feel bad for that guy. Poor guy, you know, the Jimmy stuff. Actually, I don't feel bad for that guy with what he gets paid, but, you know, still, like, the Jimmy drama, the poor guy went through a divorce, then the poor guy's house burnt down. Now he's dealing with all this stuff. Oh my God, it's gotta be really frustrating. I've never seen, since I've become a Miami Heat fan, I've never seen this fan base so frustrated. And after that Jazz loss, man, I mean, it's like they took out all of their starters besides their rookie, and you still lose. And it's even like the foul shooting. They shot 30 for 44 from the free throw line. You're professional basketball players, and you shoot 68% from the free throw line? Dude, I'm telling you right now, with a busted back and one arm, I will bet you all the money I have that I will go at least 30 for 44 from the free throw line. It's just, it's so frustrating. And I'm watching this game, and I'm like, I could be watching this Pistons and Hornets game right now, or even tomorrow. It's like, am I going to watch the Heat and the Pelicans when I could be watching the Sixers and Knicks game? I'm sorry. Like, at this point, I'm going to watch the Sixers and Knicks. What am I doing? If there's videos worth doing about the Miami Heat, I'm going to do it. But, like, I don't think I'm going to do that many Miami Heat videos anymore. Like, I wanted to do a video about the Hornets, like, before the season even started. I wanted to do a video called, Could the Hornets Be Kind of Sort of Good? And I didn't do that video because I was too busy doing stupid Miami Heat videos. And now look at the Hornets. Now the Hornets are kind of sort of good. And I'm over here wasting my time doing these Miami Heat videos. And, you know, I need a little break from this team. Unless there's something interesting to talk about. But that's it. There you go. I don't know. I'm at a loss of what to say about this Miami Heat team. But I speak for the whole fan base when I say this organization needs to pick a direction, because I've never seen this fan base so cynical and defeated. as they should be. I mean, even after the Jazz game, I was like, Spo is out here. Looks like he's doing like PR damage control and making excuses and all kinds of stuff. In no world is there an excuse to lose to a tanking Jazz team that took out all of their starters in the fourth quarter besides a rookie. And Keontae George wasn't even playing. That's it. Video's over. That's it. There you go.